Hey, what's going on, guys? Shane here.
It's Coach PJ.
Today we're going to talk about different types of guards, different ways of holding your hands up in boxing. We're going to look at a couple different styles. Let's take a look. Okay, the first two types of guards that we're going to talk about are the most popular, and I think the reason why is because the most popular boxers in the world use them, Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather. So the first one is going to be the Phyllis Shell, and then we'll talk about the Peekaboo, and then we'll take a look at a couple others. But let's talk about the Phyllis Shell first.
The Phyllis Shell, one of my favorite defensive guards to have. You're going to start in a wider stance per se, and you're going to use that lead hand to protect your body. Using your lead shoulder as a third mechanism, you're going to kind of keep your shoulder high so you can shoulder roll. Your right hand is going to be used to protect from lead hooks, nice and tight into that guard. Floyd uses this really smart and wisely to get his opponent to use their weapons, and then he'll counter off them every time with the right hand. Simply keeping that guard high and tight, he uses it as well as good footwork and timing to keep himself protected and to make his opponent miss.
I also like that hand, that lead hand down low is perfect for the up jab, right? It's almost like the uppercut, and I don't see it coming. Great one right there. Next up is the Peekaboo Stance, made popular by Mike Tyson. Now, it's almost opposite of the Phyllis Shell. So PJ stance, you can see it's very bladed, meaning he's sideways, and you can see he's almost standing on one line, this one going down the center. Mike Tyson was very squared with his Peekaboo stance, meaning his hips and shoulders were facing his target. And the reason why he did that is so he could have equal power on both sides. He knocked people out with his left and with his right. Actually had a really powerful jab because he was loaded up and he could really turn his hips into this shot. Now, he would glue his fist to his cheeks, but you can't just stand upright and move forward as a pressure fighter. Why? Because I'm just going to walk into shots and get hit nonstop, right? So what he would do was keep his head off the center line. Constant motion, harder to hit. He would slip out to the right and left, and he would duck and roll and get underneath of shots so they can get into closer range and then start landing powerful hooks, uppercuts. That's the Peekaboo stance. It's pressure fighting. It's keeping your head off the center line, keeping sort of a squared stance, moving forward, landing your power shots. This next style was made famous by Mexican boxing coach Nacho Barristan, and is it safe to say that this is Mexican style boxing?
Nah.
Maybe. Yeah. So Juan Manuel Marquez, even Triple G has a style like this. And what they do is they keep the rear hand in a very traditional spot, protecting the ribs, protecting the face, glued here, but the lead hand kind of has this rhythmic sway, which gives them good defense, right? Because it's like, which side do I go on? Do I go on the inside? And it's kind of just a constant motion throwing him off, and he doesn't know to go which angle of my arm to get on the inside. But this constant motion, an object in motion stays in motion, it's easy for me to pump a jab from here. It's also easy for me to throw a long uppercut from here. And then from here, I got that opening to step in with this punch that's loaded up. So this is a style of boxing or a guard that I definitely recommend to beginners. I think it's a very beautiful style. It's a very safe style for boxing. So check that out. Do some of your research and watch some of these fighters that use this. You'll definitely have success in your boxing.
If that one's for beginners, this next stance is definitely for more advanced fighters because you're not going to be protecting your face the traditional way with your hands up. Yeah. In the Drunken Boxer stance, your hands are going to be down almost by your waist, where you look like you're not protecting yourself at all. The main mode of defense is going to be slips and moving your head, also with quick, short parries. Now, the great thing about the Drunken Boxer stance is that I'm going to try to make my opponent overcommit. And when he overcommits, that's when I can land my shots if I want. If I get him out of his range by reaching towards my face, I can pull and land when I want, keeping my hands up nice and high. This stance was made famous by fighters like Prince Nassim Hamed, Roy Jones Jr., even Pernell Whitaker would put his opponent in places where his hands were down and it looked like he could hit him, but he got out the way so fast that it would set a perfect counters right where you need.
What I like about that too is it conserves a lot of energy too, right? This actually takes energy keeping our hands up, but when your hands are low, you save that energy, make your punches count. There you go, guys. A couple different ways holding your hands up or down in a fight.
Boom, and there are just a few ways to hold your hands up, different guards when it comes to boxing. Remember, don't put yourself in a box. Each fighter is unique, and you can have different kind of ways to work as long as you defend yourself at all times.
I like that. Don't put yourself in a box, even though you guys are boxers. Don't put yourself in a box. You think about Lomachenko. He kind of adopts all of these styles, and I think that's the best way of doing it. As martial artists, use what works for you, kind of base your body type or your fighting style off of these. But again, try all different kinds. Experiment. That's what sparring, that's what training is for. Don't experiment in the fight. Experiment in training. Guys, be sure to check out Coach PJ's channel. Link is in the description below. and subscribe to get the fight tips before your opponent does. Until then, I'm Shane.
It's Coach PJ.
Fight tips for the underdogs.